easiest, hardest. We use est at the end of the word to talk about superlatives. Check out this lesson to see some examples and learn how to use them. Hi, I'm Steve, and this is Single Step English. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you about superlatives. I'm going to teach you how to use them with longer sounding words. And, importantly, I'm going to show you some exceptions. These are words that don't follow the usual rules. Since I'm going to talk about many different adjectives in this lesson, please check out the list I put in the description section below. I really think it will help you guys out. One more thing, please subscribe to Single Step English. Just click the bell button below, and you will receive notifications when I make and release a new video. Thank you very much for your support. All right, we use superlatives when we want to talk about three or more things. If you want to talk just about two things, we use the ending ER. That's when we're comparing two things. But for this lesson, we are going to talk about superlatives. And for these words, we add the letters EST to the end of the word to make a superlative. Here are some examples of one-syllable adjectives. Words such as big, tall, short, small. These all have one syllable. Let's take a look how to make these into superlatives. And to make this adjective into a superlative, we add EST. So, for example, in this picture, the grandmother is the shortest person in the family. She is the shortest member of the family. I am the tallest member of my family. I am the tallest person in my family. There are more than 3 people in my family, and I am the tallest. All right, so the simple rule is if the word has one syllable, the adjective, we simply add EST. Other adjectives that have one syllable are young, old, clean, and to make them into a superlative, we simply add EST. Youngest, oldest, cleanest. However, there are some spelling variations to the rule of adding EST. If the adjective ends in the letter E, for example, the word late, we put the word the before late. So you would write the latest. Here's a sentence example for you. The latest album by Taylor Swift is really good. Another phrase you may know is the latest thing. And this means something that is trendy. It's fashionable. For example, for young women, boyfriend jackets are the latest thing. And these are jackets that have large shoulder pads. And it looks like the jacket does not belong to the woman, that it belongs to a man, probably their boyfriend. And therefore we call them boyfriend jackets. And they are the latest thing. Another spelling change is when one vowel is followed by a consonant. For example, the word big. In this case, we double the consonant. And then the word is spelled biggest. Biggest. If you want to use this as a comparison word, you would simply write bigger. So in this case, the letter I is the vowel and the letter G is the consonant. One vowel followed by the consonant G. We double the G and we come up with biggest. The same rule applies for words such as hot, thin, and wet. Here's an example sentence. Death Valley is the hottest place in the United States. It's really hot. For one-syllable adjectives that end in the letter Y, we change the Y to I and add the EST. So for example, dry would become driest. I wonder where the driest place is on earth. If the adjective ends in the letter E, we simply add ST. And these could be used for words like nice becomes nicest. Large becomes largest. Even when the adjective has just one syllable, it is also possible to use either more or most. You can say most hot or most tall. For example, Phoenix, Arizona is the most hot city in the US. However, it is more common to use the superlative. For example, Phoenix, Arizona is the hottest city in the US. But you are not wrong if you want to use more or most. It is grammatically or technically correct. However, you probably would hear native speakers use the superlatives more often. There are a few adjectives, and these are the exceptions, that we really have to use more or most. We cannot use EST as the superlative. For example, right. You would have to say most right. You cannot say rightest. And another one is wrong. You would say most wrong. I'll give you one more example. The word fun. We would say most fun. We do not say funner. Right? For some reason, my students really have trouble with that. So please be careful. For most fun, you could say, for example, Space Mountain is the most fun ride in Disneyland. How about for you? What is the most fun place to visit where you live? What is the most fun place to visit? So something is the most fun place to visit in my town, or in my city, or in my country. Please tell me about it in the comment section below. All right, let's move on to adjectives that have two syllables. And for these superlatives, we don't use EST at the end of the word. We simply use most before the adjective. For example, the word peace. It becomes most peaceful. Pleasant. Pleasant becomes most pleasant. Careful becomes most careful. She is the most careful person I know. However, some two-syllable adjectives do use EST. So here are these exceptions. The word quiet becomes quietest. Maybe you would say, my sister is the quietest person I know. She never talks. Or the word simple. That has two syllables, simple. And you would say simplest. One more, the word narrow. And this could be used to talk about a street. Maybe a street is very narrow. The opposite would be wide. So the street is very narrow. It is the narrowest street in my town. It is the narrowest street in my city. Very difficult to drive on the narrowest street. For adjectives with two syllables that end in the word Y, for example, pretty, we simply change the Y to I and add EST. Prettiest. Maybe you're talking about an actor, actress, and you could say, oh, she is the prettiest actress in the world. It's also fine to use most for these superlatives. So you can say she's the most pretty actress in my country. Other words you can use would be happy becomes happiest. Change the Y to I and add EST. Who is the happiest person you know? Okay? Maybe I could say my friend Jim is the happiest person I know. Okay? Two other words. Dirty. We change the Y to I. Dirtiest. Okay? He has the dirtiest room. Another word would be ugly. And we just change the Y to I. Add EST. Ugliest. For adjectives with more than 2 syllables, for example, the word interesting. How many syllables does that have? Interesting. It has 4. So for words that are longer, we just simply put the word most in front of the adjective, and that turns it into the superlative. So most interesting. Another one could be beautiful. All right, that has 3 syllables. And we would say most beautiful. Who is the most beautiful woman in the world? Another one, expensive. The price is very high. Expensive. So it is the most expensive bag in the store. How about one more? Intelligent. Intelligent. That has 4 syllables. Intelligent. Maybe she is the most intelligent person I know. She's really smart, very intelligent. Now, there are some irregular adjectives. And for these, you just have to memorize the words to know how to use them. Let's take a look at these irregular adjectives. Good becomes best. The superlative is best. He is the best football player I have ever seen. Bad becomes worst. Worst. Maybe she is the worst cook. Please don't tell someone that. They'll get very angry. All right, on to number 3. Little, superlative is least. Okay, that is the superlative for little. Okay, 2 more. Much becomes most. All right, most. That is the superlative. And the last one is furthest. This comes from far. Far becomes furthest. And this usually is talking about distance. Maybe your friend lives very far from school. So you could say, oh, my friend lives the furthest from our school. All right, now you know the rules for using English superlatives. I hope using these words will help you sound more natural speaking English. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button below and share this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.